it's gonna wreck everything.
Alright, welcome to... well, not a playthrough of this game, but the beginning of Improbable Island. This game is not one that's really good for a Let's Play, I'm guessing, because it's completely text-based, and I don't like reading text out loud a lot, so I'm probably not going to do a lot of this. But the very beginning of this game is just a huge wall of text, which can be kind of off-putting to new people, but it's an amazing game, so I figured I would record this so you can, listen to the wall of text instead of reading it, in case that's better.
Too long, didn't we? Let's play Call of Duty.
No. It does have some adult themes and such, but if you're mature enough to watch my channel, you're fine. Note that I said mature enough to watch, not if you watch. There's a difference.
Mature.
Anyway.
You just shot me a very keen side glance, you guys.
How did I end up here? It's a question that you must have asked yourself at one point in your life or another. Probably after pulling your head out of the toilet bowl, remembering the little rhyme about drinking wine on top of beer, and then feeling rather poorly again. You might have asked that question while standing naked in the pouring rain, holding a coat hanger in one hand and a rather large purple sex toy in the other, trying desperately to break into your own car while two policemen stroll up the street towards you. Perhaps you asked it while flushing the contents of your pockets and incinerating your hard drive, or after putting your life savings on Red 36, or while washing the urine out of your clown suit. However, this time you mean it literally. Or rather, you would if you had gotten around to asking that question. You haven't yet. To be truthful, you're rather reluctant to open your eyes. You know that you're lying in grass. You know that you're naked. You know that you can hear birds singing and feel the sun on your body and a warm, gentle breeze across your skin. That's okay. That's manageable. You've woken up in less desirable circumstances before. The unmistakable roar of a low-flying jet plane going overhead and the muffled thumps of explosions in the distance. Now that's not so good. That's the sort of thing you really should pay attention to. Reluctantly, you open your eyes. How did I end up here? You're lying on your back in the middle of a grassy clearing. As suspected, a quick glance down confirms that you're as naked as the day you were born. A bulky video camera, mounted in a tree directly above you, pans disinterestingly down your body. It lets out a little whirring noise, one that seems to say, yeah, whatever, I've seen better. About 20 paces ahead, the clearing gradually gives way into dense jungle. You look around you and confirm that this is the case for all directions. Except one. A crudely built wooden fort stands 10 paces to your right. The wooden stakes in the ground extend about 40 feet in the air, and you can't quite tell how far they go along horizontal dimensions. Think, where am I? Okay, I know who I am. I know my name. I know my parents' names. I know my address. I even know what I did last night. That rules out long-term memory loss, so what the hell am I doing here? You try to get up to see just how big this wooden fort thing is, but a sharp pain in your head tells you in no uncertain terms to sit the hell back down again. As you collapse, the gates open and a woman walks out. She looks around herself, and in short order, her piercing blue eyes lock onto yours. She walks over to you, shaking her head. She wears a black skirt around her knees, a red turtleneck sweater, round copper-framed glasses. Blonde hair tied back in a bun, combined with her clear disdain for your presence, gives her a rather severe appearance. When she comes closer, you notice that she's wearing heavy black steel-toed boots, splattered with something reddish-brown. She leans over you, stares at you for a moment, and sighs. Her first words to you come in a southern British accent that I will entirely fail to reproduce. I don't really have time for this, Something about her voice doesn't sound quite right. It resonates in the center of your skull, almost the way voices do when you hear them through a pair of headphones. She sits down heavily on the grass beside you. Is that rust on her boots? Long story short, she says, making herself comfortable, because like I say, I really don't have time for this. She points to the wooden fort. That's an outpost. She points to the jungle. That's the jungle. She points to herself. I'm the Watcher. Yeah, I'm probably not going to keep doing that. She points down at you. You are a plonker. No, really, I mean it. You're clearly depriving a village somewhere of an idiot. Sorry to belabor the point, but it's important that we get the Watcher-Plonker relationship established properly straight away. Otherwise, you might get ideas. You stare up at her accusing finger. What? She presses gently on your nose. Case in point. Don't ask questions and don't piss me off today, and you'll be fine. You frown. What do you mean I'll be fine? I can't even remember how I got here. The Watcher smiles. Oh, they must have drugged you up something awful, poor thing. She looks down at her watch. Okay, I'll give you a rundown, but I've got to make this really, really quick. Now, don't interrupt. She takes a deep breath, then she talks very quickly. You've been drafted into a war against a machine called the Improbability Drive. It lives somewhere in the jungle over there. Improbability is leaking out of this bloody thing like radiation, so we've got to blow it up. The whole war is being televised, you've noticed the cameras already, so try not to do anything stupid while the world watches. Your head hurts because the guys who burst into your living room with sticks and a great big sack probably hit you a bit too hard, and you might have landed badly when they tossed you out of the plane. You survived the fall without a parachute because of the improbability bubble surrounding the island, which makes the air notably denser about 40 feet above sea level. You're naked and unarmed because everything that penetrates the improbability bubble gets changed in rather amusing ways, and we didn't want to take that risk. There's blood on my boots because I came across some monsters on the way over here. Yes, monsters, stop gulping. You'll get used to them. And you'll either pick up the rest as you go along, or you'll die in a very entertaining fashion. She smiles. Either way, it'll make for great television. You open your mouth to ask the Watcher what the hell she's blithering on about, but your words are drowned out by a roar of a passing jet plane and an accompanying female scream. Chandler?
Oh, I get a turn?
Female scream, yes. We need you. The Watcher looks up just in time to see naked elephant thing make a very undignified landing in a tree, folding herself neatly over a branch. The Watcher grins. I love it when they land with their arses poking out like that. It makes me feel better about my job. She stares for a moment, head cocked to the side. And my arse too, come to think of it. She takes hold of your hand and yanks you to your feet. Go through the gate over there. The bloke guarding it is trained to recognize naked newbies like you and sort out the forms and the implants. Wait a minute. Implants? What? You ask, even more scared now than you were 2 seconds ago. What did I tell you about asking questions? There are other people waiting. Come on, off you go. She takes you by the shoulder, swivels you towards the gate, and gives you a form slap in your behind. You see no other choice but to start walking. You there, calls the Watcher behind you. Yes, you with the cellulite. You're in a tree because you've just been thrown out of an aeroplane. You've got to blow up an insane reality warping machine before we'll let you go home. You're naked because it's funnier that way. You desperately need a bikini wax, and you can buy weapons in that outpost over there. Stop crying, you're on television. Which illustrates the special attention given to main characters.
Okay.
You know, they know that somehow you're going to advance the plot, and they actually take more time. You shudder and keep walking. Within a few paces, you're at the gate of the outpost. A man with a huge, blushy blonde beard sits in a little hut, writing on a newspaper with a pencil. You clear your throat. Excuse me. The man holds up a hand, still looking at his newspaper. 4-letter word starts with N. The clue is clad only in skin and innocence. Any ideas? You shrug. Nude? The man leans forward, cupping a hand to his ear. What was that? You have to speak up. There are buggers around here with their wild bloody grenades at every hour of the day and night. Nude, you respond a little louder. Of course, noob. He chuckles heartily and writes in his paper. N-O-O-B, noob. Thanks for that. Now, what can I do for you? I honestly have no idea. Ah, so you're a noob yourself. Apparently, at least according to the blonde woman over there. The hairy man smiles, nodding calmly. Well, let's fill you in on things. First of all, what should I call you? You can call me... Dragonfoot Mcgee, I guess. It's as good a name as any. Carry on. The gatekeeper smiles. Okay, Dragonfoot Mcgee. Now, if you don't mind my asking, are you over 18? You grimace. Mate, I've been drafted into some sort of war. If I'm under 18, someone's in trouble. That's as maybe, says the gatekeeper. I've got to ask anyway before we go any further, just to make sure. And then legalese, because... yeah. Puzzle Pirates is actually a pretty fun game. I haven't played any of the others. There's not that much sets. Well, I suppose in the role-playing there might be. There's a big, community chat thing that's probably one of the main draws of the game that I never bother with so much. You realize you've been staring off into space for a moment, and you blink a couple of times. Sorry, I think I spaced out for a minute there. Yes, I'm indeed over 18. Now how about some pants? Yes, we'll sort you out with some pants in just a minute. Dragonfoot Mcgee, don't you worry. He reaches down out of sight and pulls up a sheet of paper and a pen. You see the words Contestant Registration and Pants Request Form 3A printed on the top of the page. Hell, maybe we're getting somewhere. Now, might I ask your gender? You hesitate, dumbstruck. I'm stood here stark naked right in front of you. And thanks to all those bloody zap grenades going off all the time, all I see is a person-shaped blur who won't be getting any pants until they help me fill out this bloody form, replies the gatekeeper. Male, thank you very much. Is my voice really that androgynous? I think mine's a lot less than it used to be. I guess that is the thing that puberty does, really, but... Yeah, I haven't heard my voice recorded much in the years between puberty and now, I suppose, so... Yeah. No, Dragonfoot Mcgee, you do sound like a man, but I like a little joke. The gatekeeper grins. Now, can I just take your email address, please? Mentally, you file the man under nutters. Hell, we only got television back about a year ago. You know full well the computers don't work anymore. And they haven't done since the MP bombings years back, yes. That's the interesting thing. He leans forward and lowers his voice. I've heard tell that there are some working computers here. Proper silicone ones, not these silly relay and vacuum tube monstrosities we use today, where you think of you're rich if you've got 16 bytes of RAM to play with. We're talking terabytes here. Just imagine what we could do with that sort of power. You remember what you did with those resources when you had them only a few years ago. You played silly browser games on the internet. Anyway, it's an old form from back in the day when it mattered. Let's take your email address so we can have something in the space, he grins. It's not like I'm going to send you any spam, now is it? And this is the email account that I'm going to be using for anything related to this channel, so why not? You're free to contact me at that. I don't check it often, but, you know, I might by that time. Now, how about some pants? The gatekeeper grins. I'm sure if you find those computers, you'll be using that address soon. Again soon. You hear a rustling in the bushes behind you and turn to look. Branches sway a couple of feet above head height. There's something there. You're suddenly even more aware that you're naked and unarmed. You turn back to the gatekeeper. Is this gonna take long? No, we're nearly done now. He reaches down beneath his counter and brings up a stack of shiny silver coins. Here's 80 requisition tokens to get you started. You consider asking him where the hell he thinks you're going to keep them, but a low growling sound changes your mind very quickly. Let me in! Forget the pants, just let me in! One moment, sunshine, one moment. I need a password from you. You're kidding me. Did you hear that? Yes, I heard it, and you'll get inside faster if you listen to me. You need to make up a password, at least 4 characters in length. I know it sounds like a silly thing to ask, but there's a very good reason for it. You see, the growling intensifies and you look back towards the jungle. There's a face. It's looking at you from between the very leafy branches on a tree. It's 8 feet off the ground and shaped like a gas mask. Its eyes as big as fists and deep bright orange shining against its jet black carapace. Don't care, you say quietly. Really, really don't care. Just put down the... Let's see, does this show? No. What do I want for this? I'll do this. The gatekeeper scribbles on his form. Sorry, just run that past me again? I said... hippopotamus. Now let me in, damn it! The thing steps out from behind the trees. Its chitinous body is thin, shiny, and angular. There are no hands or feet. Its legs and arms terminate in sharp points. Each time it takes a step, it leaves a deep, round piercing in the ground. You back up against the gatekeeper's hut, unable to take your eyes off the beast. Let me in! Right the hell now! The gatekeeper looks up from his phone. Oh, yes, I see what you mean. Wow, he smiles as the beast plods closer. That's a big one. Geez, look at the size of him. Please! Oh, yes, of course. He pulls a lever and the outpost gate swings open. In you go, then. You tear through the gates and into the outpost. The gatekeeper chuckles. Nice one, Harry. Grinning, the monster takes a bow. It never gets old, this, it says in a broad Yorkshire accent. You in the pub later? Of course, it's darts night. Righto then, ta-ra. See you, Harry. The gatekeeper sits back in his chair, lights a cigarette, and carries on with his crossword. Venture into Improbable Island.
Ass. Jesus.
Alright, and I think I'm gonna cut this video here, make that the intro, and I'm gonna do a bit more, maybe get a few levels on camera. But really, I'm not gonna play a lot of this game on camera. And this character will probably I'll have stopped playing it, and then it'll have been deleted long before anyone's seeing this. But if I get enough viewers who are interested in this game, which really should be, it's a great game, I'm more than willing to start up a guild, or whatever they're called, in this game for people from the channel. And I'll play for probably a bit longer if I do that.
So we're not going to mention the armor of nudity you have.
We will later. We'll mention it later. Come back next time where we mention the armor of nudity.